Welcome everyone to my second tutorial on using the Chordette chord diagrams to create nice chord charts for your ukulele songs. If you have not seen the previous video, you should watch that first. It goes over the basics of using Chordette. In this tutorial I will teach you how to get more creative with formatting the appearance of the chords on your chord chart and integrating them into your chord chart. It allows you to share them with people who don't have the chord fonts as well. And then later I'll talk about how to create more advanced chord diagrams that are not part of the Chordette package. I'll be using Microsoft Windows, Microsoft Word, and Paint for today's lesson. You can use similar tools in other operating systems, or indeed different tools within Microsoft, such as Photoshop instead of Paint, if you're so inclined. I'm going to be making an assumption that you're comfortable with the tools I'll be dealing with, specifically that you are comfortable with cutting and pasting within applications and between applications. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over the details of how to use these particular tools, but rather I will be focused on what tasks I want to achieve with regards to the chord chart. So if you find that they're a little bit advanced for you, I apologize for that, but you can find out how to use cutting and pasting in these basic tools in other places. Alright, so here we're looking at a chord chart for James Taylor's Fire and Rain, and you can see at the bottom that I have the standard Chordette chord diagrams. I have plenty of room on this chart for these diagrams simply to type them in, so no problems here. When I'm creating my chord charts, the thing I focus on most is making them the text as large as possible, so that if there's a play along and somebody wants to join me, look over my shoulder, we're all able to read the chord chart. So here I have Feels Like Home by Randy Newman, and as you can see, the text goes right from the top of the page to the bottom of the page. No room for the chords at the top or the bottom of the song. So I've had to put them over here on the side. Now normally I can't type chords in over here on the side, so I'm going to show you how I accomplish that using Microsoft Word and Paint. So the first thing I'll do is I'll get rid of these chords, and let's just start as if I don't have any chords. So first, format your chord charts. It looks like the way you want it to, and then I'm going to type in the chord diagrams that I want. And to do that, I'm going to go to any convenient place in the chart. I'm going to choose this place, put in a new blank line. This is just all temporary. I'm going to select my chord font as shown in the previous tutorial. I'm going to make it rather large, and I had 8 chords there before, so I'm going to type in 8 chords. I'm not going to focus on the exact chords. I'm just going to put in 8 random chords here. So these are the 8 chords that we're going to say is a part of this song. Now they're not very clear here because I've got my screen, my zoom rather small. So the next thing I want to do is, it's convenient to have them up here near the top of the screen. Just trust me on that one. I'm going to zoom into a nice big crisp clear zoom level so I can see all 8 of my chords there. Now I'm going to copy this entire window here using a Microsoft feature that is Alt Print Screen. If I just hit the print screen key, I would get my entire screen, but by clicking on Alt Print Screen, I am getting just an image of the current window, which in this case is Microsoft Word. So by typing Alt Print Screen, I've captured this image. Now I'm going to go over to Microsoft Paint, and I'm going to paste the image in here. So I'm going to go Edit, Paste. Now here is my Word image, but I've moved it over to Paint. So I'm just going to get it up here near the top where it's convenient again. I'm going to click on select, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the parts that I don't care about and just delete them all. Okay, so now I have a nice clean image to work with. There's a little piece down here that I need to get rid of. And when I go back over to my chord chart, I'm going to go back to my full page view, which is critical for this point. I'm going to get rid of these temporary chords that I put in here. Now I have my basic chord chart. And this is where you get a little creative, and I'm thinking to myself, where can I fit those chords? Well, we've already seen the answer, but I have a lot of white space over here. So I'm thinking I can fit my chords right here. And with 8 chords, I'm thinking I can go 2, 2, 2, 2. 2 columns of 4 chords each. So I'm going to come over here to paint, and I'm just going to use the select tool to create my columns of chords. So I select it and I drag and drop it. Then I select the next one and I drag and drop it. This is a relatively manual process, and again, I'm not going in a lot to how to use the paint tool. I could do this in Photoshop. I could use any other picture editing tool that I might choose. So here I have what I think is going to be a good layout for the chords for my song. So I'm going to select them all now, and again I'm going to copy them, and I'm going to come over here to my chord chart, anywhere on the chart, and I'm going to paste them. So now you can see I have my chord chart diagrams on top of or interspersed with my chord chart. Well, I've kind of ruined my chord chart now, so I'm going to show you how to fix that. So I'm going to select my chord diagram here, and once I've selected it, I'm going to right click my mouse and bring up a formatting menu, and from that I'm going to choose Format Picture. I'm going to select Layout, and in the layout menu I'm going to tell it to put my picture in front of my text and click OK. This is a key part of the exercise here, and you can see that I now have my chord diagrams in front of my text. So when I move my diagrams around, it no longer interferes with my text. So now pretty clearly I can drag them over here. I still want my chord diagrams to be as big as I can get them, so once they're in their correct spot, I could make them as big as I want by grabbing one corner of the image. If I needed more room, I could make them smaller. And that's all there is to it. I now have chords formatted in the way I need them for this application, not in line with the text as is done on Fire and Rain. You can get very creative with fitting these within the music. Sometimes if I had more chords, I might put 2 of them up here and 10 of them down here. I might make a little triangle in the corner. You can get very creative with moving these chords around however you want. Very easy within a paint program such as this to move the chords, get them in the shape that's going to work for you. If I need to copy 3 chords as one image and then 3 other chords as a separate image and put 2 separate images on here, I can do that as well. A side benefit of converting from a font to a bitmap image is now this is simply a picture, and if I send somebody else this Word file, they will see these chord diagrams just as we're seeing them here, even if they don't have the Chordette program installed. So that ends the first part of the tutorial, which is how to format the chord layout so that it integrates well with your chord chart.